All right, gentlemen, so section 2.2 is metric prefixes. So prefixes allow us to change our unit to determine the size of the unit. It makes the numbers more manageable to work with. So for example, say that we have 1 times 10 to the negative 9th meters. Okay, now scientific notation can be difficult to manipulate, like to do numbers and math with. So if we can just say that is the same as 1 nanometer, that gives us a number that's much nicer to work with. So that's really what we use it for. Now, these are the metric prefixes that I'm going to want you to be familiar with, right? So we start with kilo, hecta, deca, all right? And then we have our base unit. So this is whatever. So here we have meter. Deci, centi, milli, and nano. All right. Now to use these, we just put it right in front of it. So a kilometer is km, right? A hectometer is hm. Decam is actually dam. Base unit is meter here. Deci is dm. Centi is cm for centimeter. Milli is mm for millimeter, and nanometer is nm. Okay, so when we write them, we just write the prefix and then the initial for the unit. All right, the ones we're going to be using most often are kilo, centi, and milli. Okay, those are going to be the prefixes we use most often in chemistry. The base units, so here we have meter. These are going to be our SI units. We will also be using gram, second, and we'll be using liter quite commonly when we do labs here in chemistry. So here you can see the different sizes. So for example, for kilo, we would have a kilogram, a kilosecond, and a kiloliter. All right, we won't be using that a lot because that's a lot of liquid. All right, for centi, we'll have a centigram, a centisecond, or a centiliter. Those also are not more common. More common is milli. We will be using a milligram, a millisecond, which is very fast, and a milliliter. Okay, those will be the ones that we're going to be using most often. Now, to remember, there's a mnemonic. That's just something that helps you remember the order. And this one is King Henry died unexpectedly drinking chocolate milk. So you can see King Henry died unexpectedly, that's our base unit, drinking chocolate milk. And nano, well, we don't use nano quite as much, so that's not included in that. So here's some examples. So a guitar is approximately 1 meter long, where a ladybug is 1 centimeter. So those are kind of the different sizes we have there. So let's look at some examples of just going between the two. We're not going to do conversions yet, but we will be doing those next unit. So 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters. 1 meter is then equal to 1,000 millimeters. 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeters. 1 kilometer is equal to 1,000 meters. And 1 kilometer is going to be equal to, now that we're going to have to add 2 more zeros, so it's going to be 100,000 centimeters, okay? We will be using these more going forward, and we're going to just kind of get ourselves familiar with them for this unit, and then next unit we will be using them to actually convert our numbers if needed. All right.